brothers and sisters, my name is Supreme Apostle Baksay. I'm Supreme Apostle of something eternal, Lord Jesus Christ. Or in other words, I, Supreme Apostle Baksay, am an apostle of Supreme and Supernal Lord Jesus Christ in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Salt Lake City in Utah, in the US. This video is a reaction on Being Financial at YouTube, and it's named Where's My Money? So I, Supreme Apostle Baksay, Supreme Apostle of Jesus Christ, Supreme Apostle of Supreme, Supernal, Son of Jesus Christ, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Salt Lake City, USA. And reacting with my video. This video will be named somewhat different. The name of this video will be Supreme Lord Jesus Christ. To dedicate this video to the most handsome Father, His Son, Eternal Son, Jesus Christ, as well as to all those disciples of Jesus Christ, the listeners who was born of woman, the womb of the mother, and woman, and then they was translated and sent to heaven. Now, some of the Americans look at this video. I'm so happy that I might have an American accent, hopefully. I will have Utah accent all the time I still speak. And I plan still approximately 25 minutes, but if we end in 7 minutes, also marvelous. The most important is that you might see me as I really strive. I, Supreme Apostle Baksay, am Supreme Apostle because I make myself familiar with Heavenly Father, most handsome Father, His Son, Eternal Son, Jesus Christ, and many of their saints. Make me familiar with the plan of God, and I recognize that the plan of God and gospel of Jesus Christ are really the good tidings of good tidings of great joy, proclamation of peace, proclamation of salvation, saying unto Zion, even me, Apostle Baksay, Shalom is my name too, and Zion, thy God reigneth, and my God reigns, Elohim Yahweh, and He wants us to be translated more and sent to heaven. By this video, I'm inviting all the Brigham University students, those today's students, future students, and past and students of Brigham University, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Salt Lake City in Utah in the US, to translate to Heaven glory and to ascend to heaven. Now, in my family, we was actually Austrian Empire. So there was many Slavians, some Germans, Hungars. Now Slavian is Slovaks, Czechs, Polish, and maybe also some who later went to Southern and was named South Slavian, which is the Slavian language Yugoslavian. These all are close related to me. We have also Eastern Slavian, those had Alaska, approximately 1960s if I remember well. And I was one of the persons in America named Johnson. Nice meeting to all Johnson, love you. I have like personally 3 Johnsons to marry. We have such beautiful Johnsons. And Johnson, was one, basically in America, one of them, he was winning whole Alaska, the United States of America, part of from the Russian Federation. There was a Russian kingdom at the time, or there was an empire of Russia. And I actually am very political, so I look forward that my mission of Baksay will really translate to ascend to heaven, and all my friends also with me translate to ascend to heaven, because I believe that politics is the science of God. I believe that not only journalists and those sympathists, the most people know this of the journalism. For example, my father is God, Elohim Yahweh, but I was born to such a wonderful couple by the way of the promise, the way of the actual prophecy, as well as the way of laying on of hands. And those was authorized to preach the gospel, and it was also authorized to administer the ordinances of the gospel. And then as I was born in, I realized that there is a church, and later I was realizing that there's already end of anything, and then what was kind of a celebration of freedom. So there. this kind of celebration of freedom, and today was such knowledge, and at Brigham Young University there was celebration of freedom scholarship. And I didn't yet know the Brigham Young was a university until I was approximately 26. Or maybe I knew as I was 22 because I was still in mission with his brother Epperson, and his name was Trenton Epperson. And I was through a mission together. It was President Hinckley was receiving us as missionaries, and I received name tag. So instead of this British flag of Great Britain and Boy Scouts, I showed where they are from miles of team. And I was yesterday buying. So I will not tell the price, it's such a glorious thing. Be prepared. So that's what we had as a blessing to get there. We also experienced Boy Scouting. I'm later fixing Canada. I now will focus on Religious Society because I'm looking forward to my Religious Society member. So I would like to marry one of the Religious Society locally at a celestial wedding. It's a celestial Korean wedding. I think Lindsay's wedding might be she's 23, so she's got only a few months. And then she can also marry me also. But I think hopefully I might marry now. So if I could Lindsay might be my wife. That's pretty good. But before she was always surrounded by these Cold War militaries and then post-Cold War militaries. And I didn't want to stay. So if you see my picture, if I had a big mirror, I'll show you the picture which I have at this computer. We are in the Apple Store. So it's a glorious store, Apple Store, and here is the sell computer name, Macintosh. And then they have different sorts of also some iPhones. So on my right, we are in a Ray Jam Street. Apple Store Registry is one of the most famous Apple Store in the world. And what we have here in this Apple Store Registry, we have the Royal Spirit of England for a moment, and then we also have the Royal Capital of England, and we would like to have the Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. So we also have the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints since 1840, and the first baptism has been performed by Brigham Young in public baths. And as I first time here, public bath, I thought it's a bubble bath, like a fizzy bath. Truly public bath. I know what you guys do. Later they were showing us actually one for bubbly foods with the great bubbles from soap made in a touch bath. And as I first went to Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was somewhat older in the afternoon because we had there this red celebration of freedom. So the first celebration of freedom worship, there was a great celebration of freedom, and we was having extremely great militaries holding us from coming to church. There was extremely great military, so I'm looking at great amnesty the President Mountain might continue in celebration freedom scholarship it has been lost, and also celebration freedom support. I think also celebration freedom support. Today actually I hope they're in my head. I'm flying transition when I switched to heaven, and I had last year in September, now we have August 2013, and last year I turned 33, and I didn't get sent to heaven. I'm still 33, so I most likely got sent to heaven. Hope we get my emergency business series and well, and any other thing, dear owner, I am willing to take for a celestial wedding in heaven. So I would like to ascend to heaven, and I would like to really experience celebration of freedom in heaven. And definitely having to have a wedding with my wife, maybe Lindsay. Lindsay was born sometime in May, I think, but some say in June. Before I said she was in April, was born. So she was cover story of New Era magazine of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to youth in October 2007, and I went to Embassy Preston once for a visit, and I was at that time sweeper and cleaner, and I was sweeping of hundreds of streets in London. So it was maybe per week 100 streets. Maybe more than 100. So I was maybe not sweeping everyone, but sometimes checking, but sometimes it was in deep sleep. And the sleep that's because we have celebration freedom only so for such a lightning blisters of President Monson. Mostly we have celebration from constantly at 2017. So you see how I'm looking. I wanted to look really as the most beautiful child of God. And I still hope that I'll grow some centimeters, so I might be approximately 1 meter, 2 meters, and 13 centimeters. And as I every day, I'll be 2 meters and 13 centimeters, and then I believe I'll be somewhat happier. to experience or more of translation into heavenly glory of Elohim Yahweh and essentially the presence of Elohim Yahweh, I think that we're supposed to have a prayer. So let us therefore have a prayer together. How do you have a prayer? Let us sing. Let us sing a prayer. I'll sing it. We can sing together. Heavenly Father, though and though I hear and answers every child's prayer, some say that heaven is far away, but I feel it closer on me as I pray. Heavenly Father, I remember now, Jesus, all disciples long ago, said by the children to come to me. Father, in prayer I'm coming now to thee. So I think, brothers and sisters, that I could also sing briefly together. I was thinking for a moment to marry Taylor Swift. I actually don't know anything about her since. I like to take her out of the world, meaning to heaven. So I have a different sort of people. We are in London, in English capital, and we would like to move to Utah. That might have us the most powerful of love, because we believe that Utah is absolutely most powerful love. So as soon as I actually will take me there, I promise that Utah will increase love. Until then, I hope that they'll at least maintain the level of love, and I hope that my President Thomas Wilson also repenting not only from bread celebration freedom, but especially repenting from any sorts of issues that are worldwide, and I will not mention them, but we've seen something especially in Israel from the River Jordan where Jesus Christ was baptized, and maybe northern from Mount Hermon, from Golan Heights. I see there are different sorts of situations in this modern news, so I like that there might be also southern of southwestern from Gaza there, eventually also around there. So I would like we might have the peace here now, and if there's anybody who believes it, I hope that we might now come together to have some more love. We hope that all those who can believe that there can be peace, also there might be prophets and they may be seeing some prophecies that could not believe in peace, but I believe that we might believe in peace anyways, and because of that scripture, what Jesus Christ was always teaching, but it's beautifully formulated in both parts, actually after the Gospel of John the Evangelist and after Acts, St. John the Evangelist, then Acts according to St. Luke the Evangelist, and then came some more of love, VS, and what we have for blessing, what we can do is you can remember about charity in first book of Paul, or first epistle of Paul to Corinthians. So I believe that there we can have some more faith about charity. And Relief Society in Israel, they have something about charity too. I actually do like they say not very much, because I think it's imperfect saying, imperfect translation and interpretation. So, but I love the Relief Society, so I would like the General Assembly President will translate and interpret that saying of Bible, which has been adopted by the first Relief Society President, Smith. So I'm just trying to remember that it was maybe Emma Hale Smith, yes. Lucy Max Smith was mother of Joseph Smith, Emma Hale Smith was the wife of Joseph Smith, Emma Hale Smith, if I remember well. Emma Hale Smith. She was the first General Assembly President, and they adopted the charity something, and that's what I would like to not have on General Society seal or Relief Society seal. What I would like to have on Relief Society seal is charity exceeding prophecy. Because we love prophets, John Smith, but that is not as important as Jesus Christ. I mean, the prophets are not as important as Jesus Christ. Generally speaking, Jesus is also prophet, but also mainly he is charity or love, and that's what we need to emphasize, and that's what we need to focus on. That charity exceeding prophecy. When prophecy is less, charity is greater. Prophecy is thinner, narrower, and charity is actually something more appreciate that in heaven, and we need to have heaven to earth. So for all those who are prophets, please get yourselves, cool your feelings, get yourself into order, because we now need repentance, restitution, and we need ascension into heaven. And I think that is the best way to accomplish and achieve, to have their most beautiful experience of those most beautiful invitations into Church of Jesus Christ, to gather the people into that one fold where one shepherd is only Jesus Christ, and his extra helpers like me, excluding Apostle Baksay or Shiloh, is only me really a living one that translates South Sudan locally. I was born in 1979. It was one year in Baksay. It was named year of children, and we had such a beautiful album. The parents was having the hands across my soul, one parent, and the child was having hands. So, and now I'm grown, and I can still have hands up, and I can maybe say a prayer. Most of all, Father, we thank you for that something so awesome, Jesus Christ. Blessed be right now. I thank you in heaven, thy presence forever. Jesus Christ, Master, bless me. Back to us, thank you for doing So that's when I was born, and behold, I'm 34 years old, and already I'm seeking ascension to heaven. The ambulance was beautiful international election. I'm grateful also to Presidents Spencer W. Kimball, Asa Benson, Howard W. Hunter, Gordon McClinton, and Thomas Spencer Monson, Canterbury Harry, as well as our Second Council for Presidents, Dean Friedrich Cooper. I'm sure that we shall help one another to keep the word of wisdom. If we keep the word of wisdom, we will understand a reading of the scriptures better. I'm not saying that I'm not reading the scriptures every day. I do read scriptures and all scriptures every day. I would like to search and some more, but very much with much to play. And guess what is my wallpaper and a computer I was placing just now in audio store photography by T. Uti, and there is a winter surrounding a temple that is placed in winter, and it's Pro temple in winter, and there's a snow laying up on the buildings and up on the ground, and it's really white, almost as in heaven. And that's the wallpaper in the computer I'm now trying to get to remember what Jesus Christ in my head. Not only prayer also, especially the presence of Elohim Yahweh, that we might be translated to heaven glory, the glory of Elohim Yahweh, and ascend to highest heaven, the presence of Elohim Yahweh. Now, this is possible to keep the word of wisdom. Word of wisdom has been revealed to Adam and Eve in Garden of Eden. They was told the first time at wisdom at the gate of mankind to partake of those heads that are pleased and from the sight of God and good for the sight of good for thanksgiving. Now, from at the gate of mankind, along the path, there is a wisdom according to the revelation that has been given to David as the father of Jesus, or one of the fathers of Jesus was also David. And David, he had such a marvelous times, some marvelous access, and he in Psalms, and I believe it was Psalm chapter 8, receives a revelation about wisdom. And what was there more about wisdom was that it's along the path. So along the path we're thinking, where can it be along the path? So along the path we're going to partake on the paths. Maybe we shall sell or plant sorts of alleys. Along the path there on fruit trees, and they might have wisdom. Partake on those herbs only that are pleased and sight of God and good for the sight of God, full for thanksgiving, and help one another. It's always easy if community is helping one to partake on those herbs only that are pleased to the sight of God and good for the sight of God, full for thanksgiving, and instead of anything else. Now, I have here friends, and they say he spoke about wallpaper of his computer. It is not yet used, but he launched the store in Regent Street in the royal capital of England, in London, in Europe Union, in North Atlantic Safety Organization, Salt Lake City, Utah, Bravo Inclusive, and we saw on that wallpaper not only Bravo Temple, but also phone time. At the Bravo Temple, there is such a beautiful phone time. We already have some pictures. As I still was Baksay, I'm still the 10th United States of America. But I plan to get the permission of the United States of American government, and more sounds about Jesus Christ, God Christ, Church of Jesus Christ, all these things, and also the United States of American government that I'm permitted to marry in Salt Lake Campbell, and I'm most likely in heaven to marry. But might surprise everybody, and I might be already married before and have some children. I hopefully already now, as I'm 33, I still have 33 years. And 34 is not yet accomplished for another about 20 days. Or 24 days. 3 days I still am. Maybe 27 days I still will be 33. Then I accomplished my 34th year since birth in Prešov, a beautiful place, Prešov, of horses, the horse keepers, and they have also golden mines, first wars, so they're horse keeper people, first in Yahweh, and there we have also salt, I think, and then also gold, we have about salt, so that's the salt lake city. They have also gold, so they know that there's salt down, and then up in the mountains also gold. So we have also Prešov mines, we have also opal mines, Italian number well, and there are also copper salts, all some mineral waters with natural fees. So, and what I studied in my experience about Prešov, I have a temple there, erected and built temple upon the Mount of Calvary, top of the Mount of Calvary is somewhat northern from the actual Church of Calvary that is upon the mount, very beautiful church. Prešov is Christian city since 863 AD. The Moravians were standing, and many of the teachers, and I was concerned because I wanted to all Moravians, they had translated or ascend to heaven, and also to Constantine Medal first. In 863 AD there was already Christianity there. There were teachers, and they went there, and they could, by Jesus Christ himself. Jesus Christ himself was showing them the way, and Jesus Christ was administering knowledge and wisdom and greater light to all those people of Prešov. There was in several villages there, 863 AD, and those teachers of Christianity was already having Maholic, all the scriptures, and 864 AD, all in Prešov could read the Holy Scriptures and was reading the Holy Scriptures, also some of them were wedding in Genesis, and the wisdom, great wisdom. So let us hope one after, but one of those that are precepts for Thanksgiving. And as held one after, also the places where we have our forefathers, my forefathers was of all Slovakia, so all Slovaks and Poles and Czechs and Moravians, and I also have some Bulgars and elsewhere. Need to have at least since 863 the scripture, but also before they can have some revelation about Jesus Christ. So let us believe they also here in London and in the whole European America, that we might teach the gospel, that we might help one another to have enlightenment. And I think the most significant event of the gospel is transfiguration of Jesus Christ. But even exceedingly more significant event of the gospel is ascension of Jesus Christ to heaven. So let us about these two, and Jesus Christ was transfigured on the mount. Jesus Christ was showing eternal glory of Elohim and Yahweh to Peter, James, and John, and was conversing with Moses and Elias about the great and glorious ascension that Jesus Christ is supposed to accomplish at about that time. So that's what we had as a most beautiful experience. Two, we can add equity. Because our experience the source is very iniquitous. So they say, we have prophets, this is very iniquitous, because there has been prophesied, it's also written in the New Testament, but this is some Gospel mentioned in Evangelist, chapter 24. So that's what we would like to advance now. From, I hope the prophets will become charity of prophets. The prophets will be also one of the important stalks in the marvelous collection of all those gifts that our Christians and Church of Jesus Christ various things had. But mainly there will be charity, supreme apostles, and these with us apostles Baksay will continue to partake on the concept that are pleasant to society for the good people inside of our food and Thanksgiving. We can also come out from us. And we can also preach the equity of the household of God as Jesus Christ has second time already among us. Now, this is the way how I'm forgiving, as I dedicated this video by the authority of the Holy Order of the Son of God that I, Supreme Apostle Baksay, hold. And now Jesus Christ, Master of Supreme Apostle Baksay, I dedicate this video to Elohim, Yahweh, and to all those. There are most gods that, for example, in the Gospel of the Saint Evangelist, in the Revelation Apocalypse, there is someone written about 144,000 most beloved disciples of Jesus Christ that are sent to heaven. All the other parts, I think we shall not think about not, and we can also think about the others, but the ascension itself is especially. And then I believe that we can persuade also President Thomas Spencer Monson. I hope that we already now, President Thomas Spencer Monson might decide to increase the equity of the household of God as Jesus Christ, Supreme Lord Jesus Christ, for the second time already among us. This is where the Book of Mormon. Read the Book of Mormon every day. We like to read some more Bible. If you like to help us, I see to the third one in my musical. But this is actually on the second one. So there's really that in mind. God be with us. We'll meet again, brothers and sisters. Farewell. Love you. Bye. Thank you.